Here, I'ma curve them all. 12 missed calls and I still made a curtain it up, lighten up. Hear him talking, they ain't right enough, tighten up. Everything that I came for, I left with. I don't bang sets, I just bang on the set list. Going past supper when I came for the breakfast. Put me in your prayers, I might put you on the guest list. Young, tell me reckless. Gold in my soul, got the same on the necklace.
Light it up, light it up. Light it up, light it up. Well, well. Light it up, light it up. Light it up, light it up. Well, well.
That's my word. I don't think they know that's my word. Yeah, that's my. Hold up.
Big on the set, what they said, part. So I skip straight ahead to the bread part. Top out, I'm cool on the chick chat. With the kid, know I got the gift pack. Big on the set, what they said, part. So I skip straight ahead to the bread part. Top out, I'm cool on the chick chat. With the kid, know I got the gift pack.
Keep it real with you, I've been in the field in position. Look, hey, I've been trill, you can tell by how I feel when you with me. Look, wave, tell me, can you slide for a real one?
Slide for me, slide for me.
Can you slide for a real one?
Can you slide for me, slide for me?
Can you slide for a real one? Can you slide for a real one?
Can't tell me nothing, I'm flexing stunting. Eating all my veggies in my pocket, half an onion. And that pack smell like a Funyun. Trump be beating, shit be humming. You can hear me around the corner before you ever see me coming. And they know just how we coming. Pants drumming, she gon' bust it open way before I finish thumbing. I can put you on some paper, proper play and teach you something. Got my stones on Himalaya, know I'm out your sucker ducking. Ain't no need for that discussion, bluffing with the game. About to build a couple million, came with nothing but my name. I'ma twist it, flip it, stick it like a bop it. Tell them stop it, all them haters out of pocket. Let me plug it like a socket, baby. Big on the set, what they said, part. So I skip straight ahead to the bread part. Topped out, I'm cool on the chick chat. With the kid, know I got the gift pack. Big on the set, what they said, part. So I skip straight ahead to the bread part. Topped out, I'm cool on the chick chat. With the kid, know I got the gift pack.
Wave, tell me, can you slide for a real one?
Slide for me, slide for me.
Can you slide for a real one?
Can you slide for me, slide for me?
Can you slide for a real one? Can you slide for Baby, say I make her nervous. Maybe cause I'm real on the surface. Maybe cause I'm 10 down where the turf is. Don't get lost in those facades on the guys. You know ain't nobody perfect. I just put the work in, I know what my worth is. I'm living lavish, I'm flossing, bossing a bag and I'm cash off the passion. Out here with my niggas, AV to the casket. We reckless, stay in your lane. I'm on gas till somebody cut the brakes. Cutting off these haters in the heads of the snakes. Just been in the plan, but you catching on late. And she just sent the emoji, said she wetter than a lake. So I better not flake, take a break, say word. Hit me when you through with that, then we can shift again, my schedule been clear. These niggas see me, they mad like I'm one of their peers. I put that on Sita, so I'm sure it's abundantly clear. I'm hella big on the set, what I said. Eyes low off the legal and the red wave. Put the leg room in the roof gone. Man, I came a long way from them deals off the Groupon, right?
Big on the set, what they said, part. So I skip straight ahead to the bread part. Topped out, I'm cool on the chick chat. Fuck with the kid, know I got the gift pack. Big on the set, what they said, part. So I skip straight ahead to the bread part. Topped out, I'm cool on the chick chat. Fuck with the kid, know I got the gift pack.
Keep it real with you, I've been in the field in position. Yeah, yeah. I've been trail, you can tell by how I feel when you with me. Yeah. Tell me, can you slide for me? Can you slide for it one? Yeah. Tell me, can you slide for it one? Yeah.
With the black man, the original man. You might think of diminishing style.
but we freeze when it's all up to us. So let's fight it, make a stand and try it. Everything will matter from now on. From now on. Let's fight it, there's no way to hide it, 'cause everything will matter from now on. 'Cause it's high tide. I can hear the sound, and I know that it's alarming, yeah. 'Cause time is running out, and we can't just stay and watch it, no. Oh, we dream about all things being alright, but we freeze when it's all up to us. So let's fight it, make a stand and try it. Everything will matter from now on. From now on. Let's fight it, there's no way to hide it, 'cause everything will matter from now on. 'Cause it's high tide. No matter from now. Yeah, we must fight it now. 'Cause nothing else matters from now on. No matter from now. It's high tide. No matter from now. Yeah, it's high tide.
Really use a change of scenery. Yeah. Everybody smoking all the greenery. Yeah. Close the matches, they were handed down to me. But I'm still fly, I know. I'm still fly, let's go. It could all be worse, I could be a hater like you. It could all be worse. Clothes to make the man, but that poison's gonna chew you from the inside out. So right now, say it with your chest now, say it with your chest now. I'm young, I'm free, can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time, it's my time to ride it. I'm young, I'm free, can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time, it's my time, it's my time to run it out. It's your time, oh. Cheers to all the haters, 'cause you proved to me that rising to the top was my destiny. And you can see whatever from behind me, but I'm still fly, I know. I'm still fly, let's go. It could all be worse, I could be a hater like you. It could all be worse. Clothes to make the man, but that poison's gonna kill you from the inside out. It's time to say it with your chest now, say it with your chest now. I'm young, I'm free, can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time, it's my time, it's my time to ride it. I'm young, I'm free, can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time, it's my time, it's my
like it or not starts now.
Ooh,
What?
that's what Friday nights used to look like. And apparently they don't look like that anymore. That was me right
Oh.
before COVID hit.
Oh man, I didn't know what was going on. I all of a sudden I'm like, what's going on? Then I said, okay, wait a minute. I recognize that forehead. No, I'm sorry. Hey, Rebecca.
Forehead, the long face. As soon as I turned around, Rebecca.
How did that get in rotation? That's a throwback, isn't it?
That's a throwback because I don't even live that type of lifestyle. You would never find me on anybody's stage doing that. Like, no, not in this. I'm 32 now. I think I was like 29 at that time.
Can you believe we've been in the pandemic for 3 years?
Wow, it's wild.
3 years.
3
And
years.
most-
No,
Two
I
of those
can't.
years we've been doing this, haven't it?
All of the years, the whole pandemic, we've been doing it right here. I think October of the first year of the pandemic. We was right
Oh
in there.
man. Yeah,
So-
yeah, you're about right.
Yeah, no, I am right. But oh, thank you so much, Olay. I appreciate it. I just threw this right on with my house dress and made it look like something in the name of
Ole
like
in
it or
the
not.
house. What's going on, Ole?
Hey, Olay. For those of you who don't even already know, Olay actually, just like our fellow sister Georgia, Olay actually has her own show, Olurinati, on YouTube. It's going to be premiering next Wednesday, I believe. So if you haven't already, head over to Olay's page and figure out what she got going on YouTube. It's a cute clip that she has up as a promo with her and Raheem. So for everybody who loves her cat or loves to hate on how she treats her cat, head over there so that you guys can either hate some more, have a good time, and see the content that she is going to be putting out. I know it's going to be good.
All right, 3,600 subscribers already. Just launched the channel
Already?
this morning.
Already, and she just dropped, so that definitely
That's what's up.
it's gonna be nice. Let's play the clip. It's not too long. It's about 1 minute and 13 seconds. Let's play the clip of Olay's brand new show coming out,
Shout out to Ole.
because David will never see you. The one, David. You thank you.
This girl is.
And let your girl get a show.
Oh, I forgot. Well, it's Friday night.
It's right.
What if I told you that instead of spending your time and hours of your life you can never get back, bursting through the internet, scouring through Twitter, trying to debunk propaganda, find out what's going on with social justice movements, that I, a bitch who's chronically online, to bring it straight to you. My name is Olayemi Olurin. You can call me Olay, because why butcher my name? I'm a movement lawyer, a political commentator, a writer, an advocate, and what I'd like to call a professional loudmouth. And I'm here to run my mouth in service of you.
Help
me help you.
And I am so excited to finally be launching my own show, Olurinati. So instead of the stress, instead of the bore, instead of the anxiety, what if I just answered your questions directly? Subscribe, baby.
Hey.
So cute.
His name is Raheem. Why are you here? Because I'm not about pimping out my cat to get you to subscribe.
I love it. I love how she definitely adds Raheem
Two
to it.
thumbs up to Sister Ole. That's what's up. That was fire.
It was
I like
fire,
that.
and I'm actually looking forward to watching it. I've always, we've seen her. A lot of people talk about how they've seen her first on our channel, where our audience.
You don't ever let people
her.
forget they
Never
first came on our
forget,
show.
never forget. and
It'd be 2, 3, 4, 5 years later. Don't forget
I
you.
remember when she was
you-
first on Like It or Not.
You came around here. These parts. Don't forget where you come from.
but no, and how she's definitely progressed, and it's only been it's been a year, and it's like she has definitely done so many amazing things. I didn't know her before. David, you talk about me.
Ooh.
David will tell the world, oh my gosh, like, Rebecca, you don't remember when you were who is that? Who are we bringing on? And I was like, trust me, you're gonna love her. You're gonna love her. And it's David's story for the rest of our life. That's
yeah,
David's.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he found that slave. Look, he found the slaves, and because
What,
this is
what?
white man. Just like
No, 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 no. There should be
I'm
no.
kidding.
There should
Listen,
be
make
no
sure you
type
head
of.
over to Olay's show. She got a new show. It's gonna be great. Also, Georgia Fort has a show I already seen the first episode of that show. If you guys
Yes.
haven't, head over to Georgia Fort's page as well.
Does she have a trailer also? Does she have a
She
trailer?
has actually a first episode out as well.
Right.
So
right. But no, I'm just
all
saying if
good.
we had a trailer, we could drop for her real quick as well. But that's
That's on David. So as David heard us say that, David, you go find it. Now, Ben, it is Friday night. What have you been up to? I know I had some computer issues, and I had to just go look. One lonely soul out in our Patreon world and sent me $50, and I was able to. I ain't even gonna hold you. Couldn't buy a new computer with that, but I was able to buy a brand new battery to put into my computer and roll this 2015 Mac.
It won't always be like this, sister.
It won't
always
on
be
to
like
next
this.
year, but it was good. It's been good. I got it fixed, and I am now here. I'm glad to be here. Ben, how has your week been? We are on, I think, week 11 of 2023. So
Are we really? Wow.
yeah, or something like that. Don't let me lie to y'all on air. Don't let me lie to y'all on air. But
The year is moving quickly. I'm actually trying to
who's
send a clip.
texting us?
Who's
All right,
texting?
who's texting us?
Oh no, I'm trying to get a clip over to David that I want to definitely talk about. Of course, I could have sent it to him earlier, but it just when I saw Olay and then I saw her sitting on the table with the heel rising, it reminded me of the clip of Breed Joy.
I already put it in.
Okay, what's in there? See, David, you already Okay,
I already put it in. So, only more I'm one step ahead of you, my boy.
Okay, see,
so
there it
yeah,
is.
no, but yeah, we can definitely play that. But before we do that,
let me answer your question. Your question was
Yeah.
is how am I doing?
how was your week? I just want to check in with you. You know, I got to do a mental check-in before we start the show. How was your week?
It's actually great. I'm not even gonna hold you. It's we are it's progress, and you move forward and you take steps and there's a lot of things that are happening for me personally and my family. We're healthy and we're just making moves. We are in a weird way. I hate to say this, and I don't even know if I should say this, but in a way, we kind of have to move almost like COVID is over. Because 3 years, if you ask me how long I can hunker down, 3 years, ladies and gentlemen, non-gender conforming individuals. No, but we're good. Like we are progressing. And then on the movement front, that's really where I'm laying in a lot of work. We're still organizing with churches and just a lot of families who are seeking justice for their families and their loved ones. I've had an opportunity to be on the other side of covering those stories instead of covering them, just actually kind of being on the ground with a family and then working with them. That has been a really rewarding change. So if you want to know where to find me, probably find me in the streets these days, Yeah.
Okay, so I love to hear that. You sound more I remember back in the day during the beginning of COVID, we were all like, what is it? Because I ain't really American. So is it Heckle Jive, Hyde and Jekyll and Hyde? It was crazy. And that was ourselves talking to ourselves, being that to ourselves. And then when we got on air, it would be like, that is my best friend. And it'd be like, I don't even let people talk to me like that. Hey, yo, it was a wild time, but now we're in a more peaceful place with all the look, everything on the back of us in my, like everything outside of my window is on fire. But as I'm in my house, okay, I am at, I'm in more peace about how I handle things, about how I handle things.
And you know what, if I could just be, honestly, Rebecca, this last 3 years of COVID has been a healing period for me.
Come on.
Like straight up healing from stuff I didn't even know I needed to be healed from, like physical healing as well as emotional and mental. And you get a chance to unplug. This is what they didn't want people to do.
Come on.
They did not want people to be able to stay home and unplug from their system for any amount of significant time, because the more unplugged I was from the system, the healthier I got.
Speak on it.
My family got healthier. My physical body got healthier. I made a joke at the beginning of the pandemic saying that, I was going to do yoga every day of the pandemic. And I'm like, ha, ha, ha. Yeah, right. No, I got a chance to actually like lay in and heal my body through some stretching and yoga and meditation. And it, don't get me wrong, like the beginning of the pandemic was wonderful. And then the pandemic got really hard for me and my family personally. And even through all of that, it was still a healing process. And it got harder, and then it got harder, and then it got harder, and then it got harder. But the peace that I got, I'm just like, but I just juxtapose that to the fact that they are fighting so hard to make everybody go back to that insane. Because you and I both know that 9 to 5 driving 2 hours, 1 hour, one direction, sticking in traffic. I've been in that Atlanta traffic.
And it's that whole thing that was systemic. It was slavery. Okay, it was to keep us in chains. I used to be on here every day. They're trying to make me go back. We used to them shout "free us" all day. Now, while I am still, while I am still, not free in that particular way. My skin looks amazing. I just really remember being so at peace with that, not going back into the workspace, because working and also doing this, but working in corporate, that was my first time ever working in corporate. I've never really been in the corporate world, but working in corporate before COVID, I'm like, okay, it's great. I hated it. It was like our building, we were called it the Green Monster. What they would do in corporate was make sure that you would be stuck to your computers, what I called cubicle farms. Like you had people just in a cubicle next to you and people would dress up their cubicles. They would make it home. They wanted you to feel like that is your home. They put vending machines in every corner. They would tell you to circle the building for exercise. You may have had to park all the way in the garage, right? And I did not like that. I did not like, the garage was so far, right? And y'all know I always went to work with heels on. It's never was a day where your girl didn't go with her best heels on. So I would have to go downhill in heels on a snowy day, on a rainy day, whatever. And what they would do is make sure that they put the garage two buildings away from the building, so that if you were late, you were late. And you will be penalized so that you would come earlier the next time around. And you couldn't even go through the front door. Just like some slavery.
Is this the
just like some?
It's the bank. It's not the bank that collapsed though.
Not the one that collapsed. Not the one that collapsed. One that's still thriving in the name of America. And I will say that to say that was a very, very tough time for me, because I never experienced that type of, like, even when me and you worked, Ben, at content, and we were doing media when we first met, we at least would be like, nah, I'm gonna take a break. Remember, we would be like, no, we're gonna go take a break and we're gonna go get our minds right before we get on air to discuss anything. Being in the corporate world, especially in that type of world, they will throw at you benefits. We give you benefits, which is perfect for me.
You can go see a doctor.
Yeah, because I had already a pre-existing condition where I had to see a doctor and it was very expensive. And so I'm like, yes, I can do this. I can get myself together. And I did, right? But after the 3 months that I got myself together, I was like, oh my God, like y'all really in here, this is so ghetto. Like they made sure that nobody's phone had service unless it was provided from the company itself. They would not allow people to sit next to windows. And especially in times where time is changing, we would be at work around 6 o'clock, y'all, because I had a shift one time. Y'all listen to me. I had a shift one time that was from 1 to 10 p.m., meaning I had to get ready at 11 a.m. to get to work by 1 and then leave work at 10 o'clock and not get home until midnight. Do you guys know what I would do to unwind? Because I'm so big about that. I would unwind, okay, by lighting up a hookah, a drink. It's like 1 a.m, taking a good shower, and then playing some music to make it feel like I actually had a day for myself. And in the morning, I would work out around 7 o'clock and do it all again. But they wanted to make us feel guilty about saying, hey, I could do this job from home. I feel mentally better and I don't fear getting sick. They wanted us to feel guilty about that.
That's right. And so they forced everyone back into the pandemic. And now we're in year 3. Like I'm almost at the point where I'm ready to just not even talk about the pandemic anymore, because they won. the anti-vaxxers, the conservatives, the corporations that wanted to make sure we stayed coming into their offices, the corporations that made sure that we wanted to keep coming to their, to Hooters and to Chili's and, all those places, all the reasons we couldn't actually stop this pandemic from killing as many people as they won.
Mhm.
And it almost feels crazy to still be trying to save yourself,
Mhm. Yeah.
So like quarantining right now, like 3 years of quarantine, and then it's been 3 years. It's like 3 years. Come on.
No,
What
seriously, it's been 3 years. COVID is still here. We were in a meeting today with my corporate job, and one lady was like, "I just want to point out that COVID is still here. I just want to." The lady was like that, and I said, "I want to attest to that as well. COVID is still around. We don't want to continue to push for people to be in office. We're going to push for still days from work from home." And everybody was like, "That's right, that's right." And here I am starting another coup, but from home. And I did that in office already, and now here I am starting one from home. But honestly, I don't like the idea that people continue to push out there that COVID is over. But if you think I'm going to live my life as in the fear that I had before, that was a struggle for me because I became so comfortable in the solace, right? I became so comfortable in the quiet and being by myself. I was using the excuse of no longer going out into the world. I was like, "Nah, yeah, I can't go anywhere. I can't go anywhere." And then I developed social anxiety. I already had it.
Yes.
But I
Yes.
developed a major level of social anxiety, even in between me being vaccinated and when they were saying it's more safer to go here, there, at least keep your mask on, go to places that are not so populated. I was finding every excuse because I had a huge case and I still do, of social anxiety. And I went to therapy for it, and they gave me all types of drugs
Really?
to keep me going because some of my gigs are in the front of a lot of groups of people. If I'm
See,
hosting
that's
an
why
event or something.
you need to come to my program.
What's
I
your
only,
is it,
I only charge. I mean, you'll be free. You'll be the first.
is it like a hi, my name is Rebecca and I have social anxiety from COVID? Okay.
No, it is a deep exploration of self and quite a bit of time. I, I can't really talk about it on air just yet, but I had to deal with my social anxiety. I had to deal with the fear of COVID because have you seen the movie Batman? Wait, what? There's a movie where Batman versus Superman. Okay. It was with Ben Affleck and the new Superman. Anyway, there's a scene in there where Ben Affleck is like, if there's even 1% chance that this guy is bad, he makes a really big deal about Superman being potentially bad just by like one small percent. That's kind of how that's how I felt we were supposed to take the pandemic.
Mhm.
Like, if this thing is remotely real, then rational people will do what's necessary to protect themselves
Mhm.
and to protect others. And holy crap, was I wrong? Because
We went to go get toilet paper.
we did the exact opposite. So here I
We
am.
started doing cookouts.
Here I am being so serious about COVID-19, and they still in the club.
Like, Ben, if we go back to our old videos, you should stay in the house. What are you doing? People's like, at the club, smoke a hookah.
living their best life.
And I'm like,
I'm living
I
my best
can't go
life.
home. I can't go home. I can't go see my dad. My dad is so scared. He's a boomer. He was thinking that they're trying to clear his behind off of earth. He was depressed. And my mama it was just the most, everybody had their hard. We saw people passing away. I knew people that were passing away. I knew people who had it so bad and
So
still
many
haven't
people.
recovered to their full selves because after the long COVID. But it's so true, Ben. If we can just chuckle a little bit without being disrespectful. No, we was out here like, oh, I must stay in. I must stay in. I must not.
Hey, I held the line for 3 years.
You held the line, honey. And
3 years.
and I would make sure, I'm like, we have to make sure that if we're shopping, we're not being disrespectful to the elderly who are going in at 7 a.m. We got to make sure people are like, get the out of here, old lady. I'm trying to get the first fresh apples at Aldi's too. I'm trying to get the first fresh produce.
Here's the other thing. Is it me or when we came back from it's a lot more violent out there now.
What? It's
Bro, like since the beginning of the pandemic to now, like everything's murder, murder, kill, kill out in the streets.
everything is.
Y'all crazy out there. See,
They
people
no,
think
they
I'm
no.
crazy.
The whites are like F you and the black cliques that you claim. F you and the ebony cliques that you claim. F you and any
Man, look.
ebonics, any black, any braids, any goatees, any full kinky beards, any big booties. F you and the let me tell you something. So much so, and so much so. Let's look at the job market real quick, right? During COVID, so many black people were actually thriving in their careers that jobs that they would never have been able to get before COVID-19. A lot of people were getting jobs because other people were saying, shoot, this is the time I'm just going to take a break and go be with my family. Like, I'm going to go ahead, and people were on, what was it called? Being furloughed until the job. People did get options. Twitter. Remember, Twitter said you do not have to come back into the office. This is before Elon Musk's takeover, but you do not have to come back into the office at all for the life of your working at Twitter. Anybody, we won't put that on you, because they understood what the effects were going to be after COVID, like the social anxiety, like the stress, like the fear, like the mental peace that you got without going into work. Often for those people who felt that. But a lot of the people, I think maybe about a year ago, maybe a year to 6 months ago, so many people were being laid off from their jobs. Not only Twitter, but so many people were being laid off from especially like tech jobs and corporate jobs, big positions, because they were told you were not trained for the position.
They are wiping out like all these tech jobs.
All of those people, and they were bringing back old people into those positions. People who are coming back from saying, hey, I'm ready to work now, whatever. They were bringing back the people who were seasoned or whatever to go back into those positions. Also, we see that a lot of promotion. Because I'm taking courses for tech right now, because trying to get more money in my life. So, and we were in a class, and they were showing stats for a certain company, and the company was saying, oh, so our diversity hires, and it was showing how they stopped hiring, and the man didn't know that he was reading these stats. Okay. They were showing that they stopped hiring for this particular company, though, the African Americans, for this startup tech company. You had a lot of money in it, and they stopped the hiring for them, and they started hiring just white males. They went back to that. So we, in that time, and let's understand this, because of the George Floyd and all of that happening during COVID, and we were pointing out things, and we were saying, you can't do this to us, you can't leave us out. We want to be safe. We want to be healthy. We want to be a part of living another day here. We don't want to die from COVID, and we don't want to die from cops. So all these companies were saying, hey, yo, we're not racist. We're not racist. No. Don't. So they were trying to protect their brands. Now they don't give a damn. They do not care. They already were 3 years in. Who cares? That was so COVID was so, listen, slavery was so long ago. COVID was so long ago.
Right. Yeah. Now they're acting like it didn't even happen. Ron DeSantis and his I don't think this is ableist. Someone in the audience let me know if this is ableist, but that quack of a surgeon general that they have in the state of Florida, the black guy. See, this is one thing's for sure. Not all skin folk are kinfolk. We ain't rooting for everybody black. There's some people, the Florida Surgeon General, who's basically trying to rewrite history and say that COVID didn't really happen. Ron DeSantis, rewriting history and making it seem as though he was on the right side of things when he was making decisions in the state of Florida that really exacerbated the problem. Like, you have Robert Kennedy Jr. There's just a whole list of people who are honestly trying to rewrite history as it pertains to COVID-19. And, hey,
like
they got the power.
They want to colonize is going to colonize.
That's what they do.
That's what going to do. They want to rewrite history. People in Florida want to take away the truth out of schools because they think it's abusive to tell the truth to children, but they think it's more healthier to lie to children, right?
But you know what? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
But they'll do exactly what you just said and try to rewrite history when it comes to something that just happened 3 years ago.
Yes. And then the other thing, Rebecca, you were pointing out when I said, wow, a few minutes ago, the backlash to, so take COVID, 3 years, the first year and a half we went from like, oh my God, what's going on, to George Floyd, to everybody is in full protest mode for a couple of months, for a good little while. The second half of COVID has been a complete and total backlash against that. Cops are killing more people, right? They don't care if you white, black, white, whatever. They're gonna wipe you out. Jobs are firing everybody. The diversity and inclusion departments. Remember, you used to make fun of diversity and inclusion.
And look at them.
Now they gone.
Look at them.
You done got them fired.
They have been removing diversity and inclusion departments like nobody's business. You have people like Ron DeSantis out in Florida, and we do have a clip of covering some of what he's doing out in Florida from Amanda Seals as well. But what he's doing out in Florida right now, he says he wants to adjust and change around what's going on with jobs having diversity and inclusion. He doesn't think that's required or something of the sort. And other leaders, state leaders, are also doing the same thing. They don't think that diversity and inclusion is required. The reason why I have a problem with diversity and inclusion is because they don't want to hire the amount of people to cover the department that makes sense. They want the one black person that's been working at the job for 10 years to lead a diversity and inclusion department for everyone. And if that person doesn't do right, they're sweating their balls or whatever they got off, right? They're sweating it off because they don't want to lose their job. And if they lose their job, the diversity and inclusion department closed down, not because of the company, but because of the one black person that's been working in that corner for 10 years that has never been identified until that they were asked to bring in a diversity and inclusion person. Now, here's the thing. Right now, they're shutting down those departments because who gives a damn anymore? George Floyd died 3 years ago. Breonna Taylor died around the same time. A lot of other people got tased and died. So much discrimination has been going on in all of these different sports teams. We've been having the conversations. They've been giving more white racist people microphones. Kyle Rittenhouse is free and literally getting paid to talk about what he did and how he killed people, a part of the Black Lives Matter movement, fighting for justice for black people. This is the world we're living in, and what they want us to do is look at it like it's normal. And this is what so it's normal now for most white people. I remember when I first moved here, it was so racist. I live in a predominantly white area. They used to hold the door open for me so they wouldn't be looked at as racist. I love black people, And now today, as a matter of fact, I was walking out of the door and a guy let the door swing in my face. And you can imagine that I let that ass have it. You can imagine in a very, 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 respectful manner. But I let that ass have it. And his girlfriend was like, I'm so sorry. I did not mean, no, it could have knocked my new teeth out. And so, this is where we are with it. But things have changed, but they haven't changed. Things have changed, and we can say that it changed for the better for us and our mental health. I can say mental health and what we choose and what we fight for. What we choose and what we fight for is a big deal. However,
outside the door, it's
on fire out there.
I'm the little dog with the pizza box.
Outside,
it's fine, and everything's burning around us.
Listen, you got to choose what's your safe space and be there. Anywho, let's see what's going on. First of all, no, let's not see what's going on with Ron DeSantis yet. So let's not go to the crib yet. That clip of the Hill, Hill always hills. And so there was a question asked to one of their, I believe, conservatives about the word that these conservative programmers, these conservative news shows like to utilize outside of the Hill. I'm talking about, I forgot his name because we haven't talked about him in so long. Old boy off of Fox.
Tucker Carlson, how he is one of the people that actually, I feel like, coined woke for everyone, right? Liberals used it because they wanted to be a part of being woke. And somebody black thinks that they own the word, said, you may now use the word. Then liberals out here like, I'm a woke person. I know, even though I'm not black, I know what it feels like too. And that's a lot of what we saw on that side. And then the right wanted to take it and weaponize it and say wokeness is The woke
Very
mind,
dangerous.
the woke mind virus is what Elon Musk called it.
So now we want to see, because here go white folks trying to take words that never were meant for them to define and educate people on. But here goes Bethany Mandel, who wrote the book called Stolen Youth, trying to define the word woke on the Hill to Brianna Joy Gray.
Consider themselves very liberal, and probably fewer of them consider themselves to be woke. And so, when we talk about traditional,
what does that mean to you? Would you mind defining woke? Because it's come up a couple times, and I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
So, I mean, woke is sort of the idea that this is going to be one of those moments that goes viral. I mean, woke is something that's very hard to define, and we've spent an entire chapter defining it. It is sort of the understanding that we need to totally reimagine and redo society in order to create hierarchies of oppression. Sorry, it's hard to explain in a 15-second soundbite.
Yeah, look, your time.
No, and Brianna, sometimes I'm like, girl, you got to get the person, get them together. This was the moment where she showed up, and I can give it that to her because, honestly, you're saying woke so many times. She said they dedicated a chapter to it, the word woke. But when you are asked on the spot, you are not able to you literally had a chapter dedicated to the word, defining it, understanding it, breaking it down, doing your research on it, becoming an expert on woke. And as you said it so many times, Brianna wanted to know, okay, you said it so many times, what is your definition of the word woke? You had nothing but
you know what?
Neanderthal.
Neanderthal. You know what? Yeah, thank you, Bree. I know that might come as a surprise, but thank you. Thank you so much for asking that question, because literally no other journalist in this country is going to ask that question. Like nobody. And, to whoever asked the question goes the spoils. It was an amazingly viral clip. I think it's like at 12 million views, something ridiculous on Twitter by itself, because these conservatives cannot define the word. They never have been able to. They don't want to define it. They want to use it to mean anything bigoted that they could just kind of have their little secret laugh. Like they're really into this secret coded message, like turning the OK sign into a white supremacy sign so they can later joke about it. Like this is the kind of little sadistic games that these people like to play, these racists like to play, like Ron DeSantis using woke over and over again. And I guarantee you, none of the rest of them can define it. So there's plenty of opportunity for other aspiring journalists. Yeah. If you're hungry, go out there and ask them to define woke.
Especially if they're utilizing it over and over in the middle of an interview to weaponize it, to make it seem like it's a problem. But if you don't even know what the problem is, but you're saying is a problem, are you really an expert on that? No. Are you really somebody that we should be talking to about this particular thing?
No.
And girl, I would have lied right there. See, being woke, what I can do, because I can more so describe it about being in the moment of woke folks. And so
she couldn't even improvise.
She couldn't even do that.
Couldn't even improvise.
And
that's a lack of talent. She couldn't even give a word salad.
Not because I just understand that people who walk around woke are the opposition. Well, why are they the opposition? Now I can start talking to you. That's sitting on these chairs and you ain't even somebody you ain't an expert in the field of speaking. You ain't an expert in the field of wokeness. So if we look at what Wikipedia, what the kids is calling it nowadays. If we look at what it's defined as, and this ain't even how, when we created it, what it was supposed to actually be, because it was ours.
They colonized it.
They colonized it. So woke means in activism and politics, woke means alert to racial prejudice and discrimination. This is why I told you how the liberals took it and made it. It's funny because it's amongst Black people, it means to just open your eyes. Listen, I'm woke. I know some things. And then then we would joke around and say, he woke. That means he hotel, right? That means he's hotel. That means he's Dr. Umar, right? We would joke around that way, but it's a Black joke. It's a black joke.
It's a black term. It's art. It's
black
ours
term.
to use.
It was ours to use, throw around, redefine, move
You know,
around.
they don't have nothing to talk about unless they take it from us. Listen,
And
every bit of creativity and soul that anyway, never mind.
it's a black word. It's big. But it will always be that, and we will always take and do what we want with it. That's why Black Tip Twitter made that go viral.
Shout out to DJ Exclusive. I don't know if he's still in the chat. If he's in the chat, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. We didn't give him a shout out. I see he's in the chat, so hope he is doing well. He will be back with us next week.
Yeah, I won't be here next week. I have a gig.
I'm so tired of y'all.
No, I do. I told you every third Friday. Who said my computer? I can't.
You got to pay for it somehow.
Yeah, I got a strip on the a third of every Friday. That's how I make my money. Now, I do want to say, while we're doing shout outs, I'm not really a stripper, so don't make it crazy. I do want to give a shout out to gotta go, so old. Thank you, Latif, for your love offering. Also, yes, so sweet, so kind. And I want to go to
man, bless you, brother.
Thank you so much. So sweet, so kind. Oh, you too, Ben? Because he's so sweet, so kind. No, but somebody else, and I want to shout her or her, he, or them out. Carrie Shaw, definitely. Carrie has been somebody who blessed me with the $50 to go buy the new. Look, she said, towards your computer. Now, thank you so much, Carrie, as you were the only one, and it actually all I needed at the time was, I needed a new computer, but your $50 did bless me to go ahead and go get the battery that I needed to be on the show today. So look, it worked out. Amen. Thank you so much, Carrie. Thank you so much, Latif. And thank you to everybody who continues to give on to us on the show. Ben. Because I'm on caffeine. And I told y'all this last time. I don't drink caffeine. I'm straight off of work in the same dress I had on as I did grocery shopping. And I was working all day. So I threw on this cute bomber jacket. All I did was take my makeup brush and throw it on my face. Ain't nothing on here. And I am here with y'all. And Ben got the nerve to come on here and yawn every Friday, a time that he chose at night. Got the nerve to come and yawn on here.
Look, you understand?
In his kitchen.
Look, I'm an old man. Can you see all the white hairs in my beard now?
No, we can't.
No, I'm not close enough. Okay, so I'm full of white hairs. So
you still looking young. You look the same as you did 3 years ago.
I'm not the same.
You're not the same person, but you look the same. I was looking at myself. I'm like, dang, I am such I got my face is a little fuller. That stressful time had me looking crazy in these streets.
It was stressful.
I was a house, and then I was an apartment. No, I was a house, like literally. I was a house, and then I was a townhome, and now I am an apartment. Now, listen, the weight gain. Remember that we were going through it.
It was rough.
It was rough. I couldn't fit a thing then. I couldn't fit any clothes. It was a rough time, but I also wanted to mention real quick. Before we get into other things, and we're ending that woke segment because we laughed at her. We're done with her. And anybody else, when you are a journalist, like Ben said, go ahead and ask the question. Well, what can you define woke? I promise you, they're going to be utilizing that definition I just gave you from Google. They're going to be utilizing that as the as their answer. But speaking of how we look, right? And how we feel about how we look. Earlier this week, I think after the Grammys, there were Grammy Award parties, or it's still like Fashion Week, I think in Paris, or it's a whole bunch of stuff happening at one time. There was a party called Barely There, or something of the sort, where a singer and dancer and product creator, skincare creator, Sierra. Mm-hmm. Sierra Wilson, and she was out. That's Russell Wilson's wife, and she was out and pictured in an ensemble where she had clothes were barely there. I love to see it because I see other people do this all the time, and a lot of men with microphones, a lot of noms.
What's a nom?
Iggas with microphones. A lot of noms, and I just made that up on spot. A lot of noms were pulling out dusting off for new content, speaking content, and they took to their social medias quickly. I mean, she didn't even take one foot off of the blue carpet that she was on. And David, if you can pull that picture up, a lot of them came out and said, how could a Black woman come out here? How could a married woman come out
And a mother, no
like
less.
this? Right. How could she be dressed like this? However, it looks crazy, right? Drop the
You gotta
lower.
see. You gotta scroll up. So everybody can see what happened.
It looks crazy, right? But or to some people it may, not to me. But she was literally going to a party that was focused on people dressing like that. So many other people were in similar attire. White women included were in similar attire as she was for this particular event. And people were so focused on why Ciara came out. Why would a wife, a mother come out like this? Why? They were up in arms, and so many people were in agreement with that statement. Why? Why would she do this? Why would she do this? But what were your thoughts on it, Ben?
I'm gonna order it for my wife.
Mhm.
We're in a generation of men who never could handle a woman that actually has power, whether it be power over her body, her appearance, power in celebrity, power in attractiveness and physical beauty, able to pull this off. You
Mhm.
do a whole generation of men who are so intimidated by that they would attack that instead of just like mind your own business and see if your girl could fit it.
Mhm. Listen, now, and there, a guy called me who's not even in Russell Wilson's tax bracket. I need him to understand I'm not in Ciara's. So he tried to have this conversation with me, and he's like, and the reason why I said that, because I'm not going to have a conversation with somebody who is so stuck on the fact that she's married, she's this, and why did y'all allow this? You can't focus on that because none of us are in that tax bracket. Secondly, she's married. Her husband was really alongside her. If it was a problem, they could have discussed that in the house. Who cares? If it wasn't a problem, they could have discussed that as well in the house. It's none of your business, right? She is a public figure who dresses like this. This ain't the first time. This is Ciara. She comes out in whatever she wants to wear. She's known for wearing sexy outfits, and she can turn around and wear
Has
a
she
modest
aged
outfit.
a bit in the last 20 years?
She actually aged, and it looks beautiful on her. She looks good. She looks great.
She looks great.
Mhm,
I
she
can't
looks
see
amazing.
she's aged at all to me.
Yeah, but I hate that people who aren't even married, people who aren't even they wanted to make it negative, but they didn't want to post the other pictures of the women who were there dressed in the same attire.
Yeah.
Some were married as well. But they didn't want to include the other. And it was what I saw was like mostly white women. I saw some Black women in there, but they wanted to single out Ciara and make it such a big, huge problem. And it's all right because she's still making money off of it. She went viral.
Yeah. No, it's really sad. Black men it's hard to have these conversations because I don't like to have certain conversations in mixed company.
I feel that, and I don't like I don't like being a woman talking about Black men. But it wasn't only even Black men in this conversation.
I expect it from white men.
Uh-huh.
I expect it because white men like to consume Black women bodies while simultaneously hating Black women's bodies. So I expect that from white men. But the Black men who participate in this, it's just a stark reminder that you're going to have the misogyny that is behind the repeal of Roe versus Wade. Like there's some real actions against women that are taking place across the country, like real stuff. I don't have to tell you. I just want to set it up to say there's going to be plenty of Black men who side with it because they agree on the misogyny. They disagree on the racism, but they absolutely agree on the misogyny of the conservative movement. Yeah. And so
they do. They do. And so my last words to that segment is, you have to have conversations that surround your tax bracket.
I mean, yes, no, yes.
No, Like when it comes
I
to
mean,
those
I'm
type-
speaking
when
on
it
I
comes
speak
to-
on Elon Musk all the time.
when
I'm
it
not
comes
even
to no, when it comes to we're literally picking the outrage right now. Yes, this is selective outrage. You got to, when it comes to those conversations, like don't call me to have you over there pushing cards and you want me who's in the house working a corporate job that I can't stand to have a conversation about a woman who's standing right next to her husband. I'm so unmarried looking for a man on the social dating website, struggling, and you want me to have a conversation with you about that? No, sir.
Yeah.
No, sir.
Nothing wrong with pushing grocery carts. Nothing wrong.
And nothing is wrong with working corporate.
Yeah.
I just don't like it. But but no, Ben, yes, it is. Something is wrong with people who are pushing grocery carts and have something to say about people who are on the red carpet who literally are living their lives the way they want to. There is a problem with that. Speak about people in your tax bracket if you're so passionate about that. I mean, and I might, and I'm talking about for this particular situation in relationships, conversations. If we got so much to say about people who clearly who are together on the red carpet, he is holding her back, the small in her back.
Yeah.
He is.
Oh,
and no. Anywho, let's play that clip. And you know who does a good rundown? And I thought that's why I threw that clip in there. Who does a great rundown of the stories of the week that you may miss in politics? I think it has Ron DeSantis in there and a few others. Is Amanda Seals. I don't always like the presentation, but I think I like this one a lot. So let's take a look.
So here's some things that happened this week that you should know about. Governor Ron DeSantis wants to make it a felony if you have an undocumented immigrant in your home or car.
That's right.
He also introduced HB 999, and that is a bill that, if passed, will remove all Black sororities and fraternities from college campuses in Florida, along with Latinx sororities and fraternities, along with gender studies, feminist studies, and Jewish studies, and more. Speaking of education, Texas officials announced a state takeover of Houston's nearly 200,000 student public school district. Yeah, fascist long game, getting control of the schools. South Carolina Republicans proposed a bill that could subject women who have abortions to the death penalty. And Tucker Carlson and the Wall Street Journal tried to blame the Silicon Valley bank crash on diversity.
Yeah.
Their thesis that they were too focused on hiring diverse people to see the money wasn't adding up. The math wasn't mathing.
Yeah, I like when she does those type of videos. But now that to me is very interesting when we go to DeSantis, who is, already trying to take out, we know he wants to, I don't care how you flip it, how you word it, how you push it, anything that's centered in Blackness, and you want to remove only the things that are centered in Blackness, not the things that were birthed from white supremacy, are dripping in white supremacy as we speak. You don't want to remove those things, but you want to remove anything that is centered in Blackness.
Yep.
It's racist.
Yeah.
He's racist.
Yeah.
And he's against, and what's funny is I've never seen so much focus on gender in my life.
Yeah.
Not like this.
Well, yes, you're right. And it's because that's another place where they can pick off some Black people to join their camp. And again, I don't like having this conversation in mixed company. I wish we had I love you. I love all of y'all. Thank you.
You gotta go.
But when we start talking about inner Blackness, I just want to cut the white folks off just for a second. Love all y'all. Mean it. Thank you. Couldn't do it without you. Stay patrons. Okay. Now, but it's issues like misogyny that we talked about, but the gender issue, the transgender issue, the LGBTQ issue, and I'm saying issue only because, well, they're under attack. They're under attack. It's the area that conservatives know they could pick off support from all communities, the Black community included, Muslims, not that they're not Black Muslims, but Jewish. There's like a diverse group of people who stand in opposition or are just bothered by or just don't like the sound of whatever. And Republicans know that. They know that they can attack the LGBTQIA community, particularly the trans community, and not many people are going to stand up, especially for the trans community.
No, that's a great point, because when they do attack the LGBTQIA plus community, what happens is they know that Black people, religious Black people, will now join the line, because they'll be at the line right up until they won't cross it, and sometimes for them it'll be abortion and anything that has to do with the LGBTQIA plus community in any way, shape, and form. So what they'll do is not cross that line. They'll go right over and stand with people that were just
They want to kill us.
their opposition. Yeah, right.
They want. They literally will have, because of your homophobia, they will have you lined up marching against people who want to kill you because you're Black.
Yeah, yeah. And so that is exactly what we are seeing, and I think that's why there's a big, like, there's so much law not going into helping people eat, not going into sheltering the homeless, not going into giving lowering rent and mortgages, not going into allowing us to have resources to live day to day, not putting down the prices of not only eggs but damn groceries, controlling.
Man, a three-piece wing at Popeyes is $11 now.
Okay. And that's crazy, because that can no longer feed 3 kids, because you could get them the one box, and just give it to them while you eating gourmet. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't. Why aren't there? Look, the frustration. Why isn't there any outrage over those things? But there's so much outrage and laws passing quicker that control women's bodies, or anybody in the LGBTQIA plus community's bodies or rights or anything of that sort.
Our history, Black history,
Black rights, Black choices. They want to continue to take those away from a lot of marginalized communities, and that particularly are the ones that are Black or people of color. It's just they want to continue to do that. I've never seen so many laws that pass before I can look at it, go to sleep, and wake up against those communities, the marginalized communities. But there's nothing I haven't seen the fight really standing up at the podium or anything to help anybody. We've seen so many stories of Black men being gunned down in so many different states, and their leaders have yet to say anything about it. But we'll walk up and do a whole press conference about the rights or taking away rights for people.
It's because if we don't bridge those gaps, the fascists are going to win. Plain and simple. If we don't bridge the divides that still remain between each of those communities that we're talking about, right? Like, we don't stand up for each other at 100%. Now, there is a group of people who do stand up for everyone. I've seen them. Antifa, like they show up. They show up pretty much everywhere. Everywhere there's a fight. Not that they even exist, but in terms of like just the broader community, like the deeper community and the support, the best example of what you said was coverage I was listening to in a central Florida city. They were covering the issue of all the trans legislation, the attack on the LGBTQI community. But then when they got to critical race theory, they didn't even comment on it anymore. They just let a caller call in and say all these lies about critical race theory. And these hosts who did a magnificent job defending the LGBTQIA community, it made me feel great. I'm like, wow, we in the dirty south of Florida, not South Florida, but central red Florida, defending the LGBTQIA community, but then was silent when it was time to defend
because it is no longer, Ben, we are
diversity inclusion not even necessary.
It's not necessary anymore. Now the big deal and the big topic and the hottest topic on the table, and what they don't want to understand is that Black people are a part of that community too. But it's just not important to focus on any issues that are just particularly focused around Black people themselves. We're done with it. We're done with it. Latinos, Latinx folks, y'all all right? We might need to talk to y'all. Y'all got issues going on, like Asians. Y'all good over there? Black folks, not you. Get out the way. I heard the Irish went through some slavery. Indentured? Is that what they said they were? That's what they're doing. And that is diversity and inclusion. Black folks are just the bottom of, I hate to say it, in America, they're the bottom of the barrel. They will always be last. And as soon as they can kick us out of the equation, they will. Yeah.
Anyway, what'd you have for dinner?
I had just a salad today. I'm trying to get this way cinched and unbig my back. But that's the whole thing. Somebody said we only got about a few weeks to unbig our backs for summer. No, but I've been working out every single day for about literally a year. And I've been seeing a lot of nice, listen, she's coming back. My waist is not what waist. What way? No, she's not there. And so I've been doing good because I said, girl, you gotta get back because you can't be slim. You can't be just slim and then you carrying weight. The muffin top has to go. You can't fit in the jean. You can't fit in nothing. So I had to get back because and get back to me because it was a fool. I was unhealthy. And it wasn't because I was eating a lot. I was eating trash, and then I wasn't eating at all. But today, as you asked me what I am having for dinner, I had a salad today. I'm about to just make it probably, y'all. I have a secret to tell.
Oh Lord!
And before we get out of here, we got 5 minutes. Publix one time got me for my paper, and it's been cracked to me ever since. I went to Publix one time. I was in college, and I went to the deli section, and there was a long line. I said, I just want something quick. I thought I got me a chicken salad sandwich, and it turns out that I did. Inside of the chicken salad was cranberries.
Oh yeah. You never had that.
It was chicken. It was cranberries in the chicken salad, and I was walking around here like, "Have you tried the cranberries in the chicken salad?" For years, and then there was a joke that came out and said that Karen puts the cranberries in the potato salad, and I said, "Am I not supposed to eat this? Am I no longer supposed to eat?"
It was good, wasn't it?
the croissant chicken salad with the cranberries in it. Am I no longer supposed to eat that? I used to feel like I was living a lie, and I just wanted to tell you guys the truth because I was feeling for that today. And I just felt like I needed to come out. And do you guys think I should eat that? Does that take away my black card?
You better eat that. You pay for it. You better talk about it.
It's a chicken salad.
I bet you ate it, didn't you? You ate it.
I will eat it. Now that I've told my truth, I just wanted to be free, Ben.
I mean, there's some white foods that I could get down with. I'm like, I can't really think of any right off the top of my head, but I just know there's some. The red beans and rice. That I know it's not a white dish, but the one that
the white man made.
And there was some good red beans and rice, bro.
Then said to me, "Listen, we was."
That white man made some red beans.
Struggling so bad, we was hungry, but we were making top notch every day. We're getting 5 million views on our content.
Yeah,
but we were struggling. And I don't lie when I say we were doing 5 million views. We were doing millions of views every day. We worked 5 days a week. We were doing millions of hits, and then we struggled to eat that day. I came in looking fly every day, but the struggle in my stomach was saying something else. And that man said, "Hey, God.
I got some red beans. I know how to do some red beans and rice if you want."
We had it sitting there for a second, and finally Ben was like, "Man, I'm just try this. I'm hungry." And then Ben came over to me like, "You got to try it, Rebecca." And I'm like, "I do not eat that. I'm not I'm not eating that." Ben was like, "Rebecca, if you hungry, you're really gonna eat this." So I was like, "I'm just gonna try it." I was like,
Right?
I got a little
yes. And I'm just trying to think what other just white dish do I eat? I'm not sure.
Because you don't really, and sometimes Okay, American.
I mean, just Americanized food, generally speaking. If you want to just talk about Americanized food, then plenty of that.
Because I'm Haitian, so so there's some ways that I look at American food and be like, see,
horrible. It's
no.
horrible.
And it's terrible. But but that's how a lot of people do anyway. And my friend was telling me we shouldn't say ill to certain kind of foods because it's disrespectful to their culture. I know you can't do that in Haitian culture. It's very disrespectful.
Yeah.
But I have been like, I don't like that food. Ew. And she'll be like, Rebecca, you can't do that. And it'll be like some American food. And I realized that's disrespectful. You can't go and say
some of our food is disrespectful though. So you just gotta...
I wouldn't say listen, Black American food.
No, not Black American food. I'm just talking about American food. I'm talking about like the junk and the processed food that they feed Americans as opposed to other countries.
Okay.
Stuff
No.
Legal in the United States, but it's Black soul food.
Outside of soul food, everything else don't mean nothing to me. Soul food.
We hate the soul food.
Everything else don't mean nothing. Outside of soul food, when it comes to American food, I don't care for pizza. I don't eat burgers.
That's
I don't do none of that. It's not good for you. So, but
showtime, huh?
We're at the end of the show. I think that we did a really good job.
I had a good time.
I'm glad I gave you a good time because I know I came in late, and I know
I was
that
enjoying the music.
Ben sent me a text message like, "Listen, little heifer, if you don't pull up, now he got his wife signaling to him to come on."
No. My little buddy looks like he needs some help or something, so it's a good time for me to jump in. Oh no, get out. Okay, anyway, I'm sorry.
Listen, when you don't have a family like me, you could just like be like, hey, you just wanna, hey, cutie.
Oh, go. I gotta get your haircut, man. Get out the picture. Got a barber appointment in the morning.
Did you see all that head? That's crazy. But anyways, I don't have a child to come out of the room or
go, man, bro. I'm on the show, bro.
Anyways, as I was saying my SAP story, I don't have a child to come out of my room or a wife that's waiting on me. But I do have a nice warm bread.
No, I'm joking.
I said bread. See, I'm being greedy right now. A nice warm bread. I got a nice warm bed waiting for me. I'm about to take me a nice shower. I'm gonna eat my cranberry croissant too.
It sounds amazing. I bet you're gonna like it. You're gonna love it.
And I'm gonna pour me a glass of wine. I'm going to put on Layla Hathaway on Pandora because yes, I still listen to Pandora. And I'm going to relax until I fall asleep. I'm done for the day.
Sounds good. That sounds
I love
good.
you guys. I mean it so much. And thank you guys for definitely staying watching. If you are here thus far, you know what to do. Head over to Like It or Not.
Patreon.com/like it or not.
Head over to patreon.com/like it or not. Patreon.com/like it or not. And if you would like to give still, to get a new computer, that's great. It is Becca's Voice. Becca's Voice on Cash App. I love y'all so much. Ben, what's your Cash App? I'm out of here.
BPD 2018. And thanks, Latif. Thanks for the love, man. That brother consistently shows love.
No, I've never been a Taco Tuesday girl, but Latif gonna make sure I am. He gonna make sure I stay Taco Tuesday all the time.
You gonna say hey to Rebecca?
Hi.
She said
Jeremiah.
Hi. He asked about you. He was like, where's Rebecca?
Oh, because I remember when he was just a little seed in the belly, and y'all just found out y'all was pregnant. And remember when we were because I'm always gonna tell the story. Remember when we were in the room and you couldn't stand me always playing music and singing? Y'all was always annoyed, but you was getting down with the Molly Music album. No, it wasn't Molly. It was BJ, the Chicago kid.
The Chicago kid. Yeah.
Jeremiah sings.
Yes.
And you was like, you know what, Rebecca? I'm gonna name my child Jeremiah. And that's when you did tell me that. You told me that in the room that day. I said that's a beautiful name.
Jeremiah, and right now I'm going to have to go. Please pick up your breadcrumbs. Thank you, sir.
I'm out of here. Look,
you,
I'm out of here.
I'm out.
I love y'all so
love
much.
Y'all
I mean it. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Take care, everybody.
And before we end the stream, I'm gonna just since we don't have DJ exclusive, I'm just gonna leave y'all with some Black history.
You're obviously not aware of this, but blessed is not a word the global majority thinks of in association with Europeans. Words like plague and colonizer, maybe, but not blessed. And the cell phone in my hand came from China. So I don't know if you're referencing Steve Jobs or Martin Cooper or the Finnish inventor who created the first pocket-sized telecommunication device in 1917, and you probably don't know either because your education system has left you terribly ignorant and without the critical thinking skills necessary to effectively gather information. Because you believe that most great inventions can be attributed to one white person, as opposed to recognizing that the patent system is how white people colonize intellectual property. We would not have cell phones if it wasn't for the creation of the gamma electrical cell by Black inventor Henry T. Sampson. And most of our cell phones would not have microphones in them if it wasn't for the particular microphone that was created by Black inventor James Edward West. The creation of the first digital network, 1G, was launched in Japan, and then Black electrical engineer Jesse Russell pioneered the creation of 2G, which launched in Finland first. 3G launched in Japan, 4G launched in Norway, 5G launched in South Korea, and 30% of the world's cell phones are manufactured in China. Because we of the global majority recognize that collective humanity has the ingenuity and creativity of one another to thank, whereas a lot of European Americans are laboring under the delusion that the rest of us have white people to thank. And it's this narcissistic ignorance that causes people like you to do embarrassing things, like leaving comments about Europeans and cell phones on a video about systemic anti-Black racism in the United States. And while that could be written off as a comedic and senile non sequitur, we recognize it as a desperate attempt to center yourself in a conversation that has nothing to do with you. The irony being that white people like to say not all white people and they shouldn't be held accountable for the misdeeds of their ancestors, yet they want to be associated with the greatness of the things that they think they invented.